my family and the neighbors, they thought it was super funny, right? This small girl, I had these poofy pigtails on my head with a Dutch accent speaking Portuguese, so they would laugh a lot. And I didn't like that a lot. I felt very uncomfortable. And I was like, what do you mean? I speak two languages. Sorry, like I'm
Yeah.
trying.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
6 years old. And over the years, that kind of kept happening. I started to feel more uncomfortable, especially when they started laughing when I would make a mistake. So I would say something, it wouldn't be correct Portuguese, and they would laugh a lot. And then they would repeat, like, oh, did you hear what Eileen said? And then they would repeat to each other and then laugh. It's Portuguese neighborhood vibes, and you've got like
Yeah.
all the neighborhood
And
ladies.
from their side, it was probably like an affectionate thing, but it didn't feel that way.
For me, it was horrifying,
Yeah.
truly horrifying, and I really didn't like it. But it also came to a point where I think I was maybe 13 or 14 years old, where a neighbor heard me speak, and then she said to me, she said, Eileen, have you still not managed to learn the language of a mother? Que vergonha, which
Oh,
means,
that's yeah, yeah.
what a
That's yeah,
shame
what a
you are.
shame.
What a
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
shame. Yeah, so she's like, que vergonha, with a look on her face. And I remember thinking in that moment, already being, very uncomfortable with speaking up, already speaking less than I wanted. I thought I will never speak a word of Portuguese again. And that's when I just didn't for years. I
So
refused.
that time you decided I'm not going to speak Portuguese, and I'm also not going to go to Portugal. I'm never
Yeah,
going to live in Portugal.
yeah,
Fast
yeah,
forward however many years, and here you are.
yeah.
How did you get how did you get past that mental block? What happened that made you decide, actually, you know
Yeah.
what, Portugal's not that bad?
Well, obviously, I grew up in the Netherlands, and I'm very Dutch because I was born and raised there. It's my first language, but my parents aren't. And I realized that by denying myself to learn the language or to know more about Portugal, I was also denying myself of a part of my identity.
Hmm.
And the reality is that I'm not one thing. I am a mix of a lot of different things. And if I only
Yep.
have the Dutch side of me kind of representing that part of my identity, I just felt unfulfilled or unspoken to a lot of parts of who I am. So I
Interesting.
was struggling with that a lot in the Netherlands. I felt stuck. I couldn't relate to some things. Some things, sometimes people couldn't relate to me in some ways of how I saw the world, life in general. So I realized that I was just not thriving in that environment. So it made sense to me to maybe change the environment so I could flourish, in a different place. And then I thought, you know what, maybe I should give my Portuguese side a chance and explore that. And that's when I decided to like book a one-way ticket to Portugal, basically without a plan.
And that
With
was 3 years ago?
Yeah, that was 3 years
Okay.
ago. Yeah, just one day I woke up, I looked outside, and I thought, it's time for me to go for good. And I did. And I came to Portugal with not much of a plan, except the only thing I wanted to do was once and for all learn this language.
Okay.
And that's what I did with all my focus and dedication and sweat and tears. So yeah,
And now you're fluent.
yes.